bitch, you let me on my own. Ay, onto that dirty now.
Peace. What's up, guys? Let's talk about and discuss NXT deadline for December the 10th, 2022. WWE's final premium live event of the year. The show was good. This was a very good show. Shawn Michaels really did well with this one. He did. I loved both the men's and women's Iron Survivor Challenge matches. I love them both. This is great. This needs to be an NXT exclusive. This only needs to be for NXT only, not the main roster. And I don't think that War Games is going to be a yearly thing at all. I don't. I think Triple H just did that just to get people used to War Games. I don't think we're going to always see a War Games match at Survivor Series going forward. I just don't think that we'll see that. But I do think that the Iron Survivor Challenge is the perfect way to go. I love both matches. They were great. And I think that the right people won their respective matches. First match of the night. We kicked the show off with the women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Roxanne Perez versus Zoe Stark versus Cora Jade versus Kiana James versus Indy Hartwell. This match was good. It was great. Kiana James, girl's fucking awesome. I love her. She's great. She has a great character, great look, and she's getting very good in that ring. She can fucking go. It sucks that she didn't get any pinfalls in the match, but it shows that in due time, she will be NXT Women's Champion in due time. So Roxanne Perez, she wins. She gets the most wins. She got 2. But overall, this was a very fun match. I enjoyed it a lot. Cora Jade did well here as well. But to me, the right woman won in Roxanne Perez. Super over with the crowd. The crowd loves her. And I think that since Indy didn't win, I think it's time for her to go to the main roster. She's been in NXT for, I think, 3.5, going on 4 years now. It's time, because what else is she going to do in NXT? There is literally nothing left for her to do. It's time for her to go to the main roster. It really is time. I don't know when we'll get Roxanne Perez versus Mandy Rose. We'll probably get it at Stand and Deliver versus getting it at Vengeance, NXT Vengeance Day in February. But overall, I thought this was good. This was a solid match. The crowd was into it all throughout the match. Very much into it all throughout the match. And I think that this is great. You know, the Iron Survivor Challenge was great. I think this is an excellent concept. It's very cool. It's like a mix of a Fatal 5-Way mixed with a championship scramble, mixed in with a little bit of Elimination Chamber / War Games kind of match. But, you know, overall, it was great. You know, I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed it. Moving on. So, Mackenzie Mitchell, she's backstage with Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. So, Ivy gets on the mic and says she's just looking out for the Creed brothers, and she wants them to be 100% for Indashir. So Paxley comments on how big Ivy Niles' heart is, despite her tough exterior. And then out of nowhere, KC Squared, aka Katana Chance and Caden Carter, they come into play. So they have friendly words, including how Ivy did. How Ivy did the right thing for the Creeds. So Ivy, she thanks them and she says, "Don't mistake her kindness for weakness." Ivy says her and Paxley had a few stops and starts, but they're here. Paxley says they'll be seeing the Temps very soon. The Temps tell them they know where to find them if they want it. They don't want to run from any team, especially one they've kind of started to respect. And then they say, "See you soon." Next, Isla Dawn versus Alba Fire. Good match. It was fun, hard-hitting, strong NXT UK strong style stuff. But that finish, Shawn Michaels, what the fuck are we doing, bruh? What are we doing, big homie? We don't need that shit. I get that Isla plays an occultic witch, but we don't need that shit. None of that black goose shit. None of that fucking bullshit. No. Under no circumstances, we don't need that shit. We don't need it at all. Period. We already had that shit with Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt. We don't need it on NXT. We don't, Sean. Come on, bruh. We don't need this shit. So, towards the end of the match, the ref starts falling down, and he's having trouble with black stuff coming out of his mouth and his nose. So, another ref, he runs down. He makes the 2 count. And so while the officials are trying to help out the old ref, Isla Dawn throws Alba Fire into the ropes, into the turnbuckle, and hits her reverse DDT for the 1, 2, 3. So I'm fine with that, but we didn't need that. And I think it would be better if we would have just had no shenanigans at all and just had Isla Dawn win that same way, but without the black goose shit. I don't know. I kind of wish that this match had more story, though. That's the only problem that I have with it. I feel like we could have scratched this match out at least until New Year's Evil in January. I think that would have been better instead of just putting this match on here with little to no story. So I don't know why we did it, but overall it was fine, I would say. Moving on, Mackenzie, she's backstage with the New Day. So Xavier Woods says they came to NXT because they're looking for new competition, and Pretty Deadly is the only thing standing in the way of them becoming Triple Crown Tag Team Champions. So they all start gyrating and do the whole WWE shit that they've been doing for a while, the New Day. So Kofi gives some praise to Pretty Deadly and says they've got an aspiration mindset, but unfortunately for them, so does the New Day. And that's to become Triple Crown Champions. Next, the New Day versus Pretty Deadly for the NXT Tag Team Championships. This match was fun. The crowd was super into it. Both teams were over. They did the Eddie Guerrero spot where they all hit the titles with each other, and then they all throw them out, and they all four of them fall down. The finish came with Kofi hitting the Trouble in Paradise on the outside to, I believe it was it Kip? Yeah, it was Kit Wilson who ate that. And then they did the Midnight Hour to Elton for the 1, 2, 3. And your new NXT Tag Team Champions, The New Day. Booker T. Booker T. Booker T. He lost his shit on fucking commentary. Go back and watch that shit. That dude had me fucking rolling on commentary. That bro had me rolling on commentary hard, bro. He had me rolling, bro. I love me some Booker T on NXT. I love me some Booker T, man. Dude's a fucking gem. He is a fucking gem. Man, he lost his shit when New Day won. He said, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. So, I'm glad New Day wins. Now, I know a lot of people are upset that Pretty Deadly didn't win, but we kind of saw this coming. And it does make sense for Pretty Deadly to chase. They've beaten every team in the division since they've gotten there. There's nothing else that they can do. They do seem main roster ready, but I don't want them to come up just yet. I really don't. I'm guessing we'll see them do the rematch at Vengeance Day in February. And that's when NXT is going to go back on the road. They're going to be in Charlotte. So that should be pretty cool right there. And that's the only reason why they did this right there. It actually makes the most sense anyway. They're going to have to do more of that anyway because they're leaving the Performance Center. They're leaving that. So they're going to go back out on the road, which I think is going to be a good thing. And we're going to see more main roster talent come in and come out. So, yeah. All right, moving on. So, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, they're backstage. They're hanging out with Idris NFA, Malik Blade, and Odyssey Jones. The cool trio, as I call them. Well, as I'm going to call them. So, the ladies, they asked them out for a night out. And they all declined, like, nah, we got to get ready for Odyssey Jones' match on Tuesday with Von Wagner. So Jones says usually they're down, but they have to train some more because he has to face Von Wagner on Tuesday. And he has to take care of business. But after that, they're ready to party. Then come my girls, Gigi and JC. They walk up and they make fun of the champions, insulting them for offering a title shot to Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. They brag about pinning the champs in the 6-person tag a while back. And they say they only want to defend against teams they can beat. And out of nowhere, Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley, they jump Toxic Attraction, and a big brawl ensues between everyone. But Jones, NFA, and Blade, they all try to restore order. Then the men's Iron Survivor Challenge, JD McDonough versus Axiom versus Grayson Waller versus Joe Gacy versus Carmelo Hayes. This was great. I love this match. This match was awesome. So JD, he's out first. Then out comes Axiom. So they brawl for a while. Carmelo Hayes is number 3. He gets the first fall. And then Grayson Waller, he comes in at number 4. And this motherfucker is on some crazy adrenaline type of rush or whatever the fuck. But he comes in and immediately, not even 30 seconds in the match, he gets 2 wins decisively. And then out comes Joe Gacy. He gets a couple of wins. Carmelo got a second win as well later on in the match. He did the leg drop. So everyone begins to brawl. In the middle of the match, Grayson Waller, he asked Booker T, who's in his fave 5 now, and he calls Booker T a bitch. And Booker T says, "Tell me he just didn't say that." I was like, oh shit. So Grayson knows how to get some fucking heel heat. He's good at being a heel. Towards the end of the match, Carmella hits the leg drop on Axiom. So Grayson, he steals the pin. He throws Carmella out the ring, and he steals the pin from Mello. It's up 3. He's got 3, and then basically he just runs the timeout. So Grayson Waller wins. And it makes sense. I'm actually fine with it. You know, I know people want Carmelo to face Bron for the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver, but I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to go to Grayson Waller. I really do. I like Mello, man. I love Mello. Mello's great. He's awesome. But I think it's time for him to move to the main roster. I really do. I think he's been there long enough. And not everybody's going to get to be NXT champion. Not everybody's going to get that opportunity. But I think Mello would be great on the main roster. I really do think he'd be great. Whether you put him on Raw or SmackDown, he'll shine on either show. But I do think that when we have the match between Braun and Grayson, I do think that Grayson is going to be the one to go over. And I think that's when we'll see Bron Breakker go to the main roster. I just do. But it sucks that Carmella didn't win, but he was one of my picks to win. So I knew that Grayson Waller was going to... It was either going to be Carmella or Grayson to win. So, yeah. And I do think that Grayson Waller would be a great feud for Braun. We'll be able to get a lot more character out of Braun. Moving on. So, Drew Gulak, he's backstage with Mackenzie Mitchell. She asked why he came to NXT. Gulak says for some reason he feels like he hasn't reached his full potential. He's not pointing fingers at anyone but himself. He has a good idea where he wants to go, but he didn't come here to complain. He came here to grind in the ring, and if he sees someone with potential, someone special, either an NXT superstar or did be a performance center trainee, then he can help them, and that's even better. So Gulak says there's strength in numbers. So Damon Kemp, he walks up. He introduces himself to Gulak. He shakes his hands. He shakes Gulak's hand. Gulak knows Kemp, a great wrestler with even more notorious attitude. So Kemp takes that as a compliment. So Kemp saw Gulak watching this past Tuesday on NXT. He says he will return to the ring for the first time in 2 months this Tuesday against Duke Hudson. And that the match for Gulak is to watch him as he schools Gulak. Gulak says he has a pretty good idea of who Damon Kemp is, but he'll check the match out, and he wishes Kemp luck, and then they both dip out. So it's interesting to see that that Gulak is there for a while. Hopefully him and Charlie Dempsey can get together, and that would be kind of cool. I think that's where they're going to go with it anyway. But having Damon Kemp back, and we ain't missing too much. Let's just be honest. We ain't missing too much. And his brother, Gable Steveson, finally made his SmackDown debut with Kurt Angle this past Friday. So, yeah. Main event, Apollo Crews versus Bron Breakker for the NXT Championship. This match was great. I enjoyed it. So, Bron wins via the spear. And it was a great match. You know, I enjoyed it. So Apollo, he did Bron's power slam. And I'm surprised that he didn't do Bron's spear, that being Apollo Crews. But anyway, Bron defeats Apollo Crews with the spear. Post-match, Bron, he's celebrating. And then Grayson Waller, out of nowhere, he comes around and he stuns Bron with his little lame-ass stunner. And then we go off the air. So, overall, it was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. Thought it was fun. Went by quick. The Fallout show should be interesting. And it's interesting to see what they're going to do with Carmelo Hayes now that he's no longer in the title picture. I mean, and we all know that Shawn Michaels is a huge fan of Carmelo. I'm guessing we'll see him on the main roster in due time, I guess. I mean, I don't know what else you can do with Carmelo. I really don't. If he didn't win, since he didn't win the match, what are we going to do with him? Like, we've got to move on. There's nothing more we can do with him. I'm guessing you could do a rematch between Apollo Crews and Bron at NXT New Year's Evil coming up in January. They could end up doing that. They could also end up doing a rematch between Isla Dawn and Alba Fire at New Year's Evil as well. They could end up doing that. But, you know, overall, it was fun. I enjoyed the show. So, another thing, guys, for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. I really enjoyed the Iron Survivor Challenge matches. Those are great. We need more of those. Peace.